Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. On today's program, we chat with Marie McCabe and learn all about the Good Neighbor Energy Fund to help you pay your heating bills this winter. First, though, we check out the weather and the news for you this morning. Currently in Quincy, it's gorgeous. Sunshine and clouds out there. It's 43 degrees right now. We're headed for the mid-40s with a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon. Not nearly as cold tonight as it has been. Lows tonight only in the upper 30s. It sets us up for not a bad weekend. The rain will move in, but not till tomorrow afternoon, probably 5 or 6 o'clock. Continue through tomorrow night. Temperatures tomorrow into the mid-40s, but look at Sunday. It'll clear out with just a few clouds around, nice and mild. High Sunday near 50 degrees, and still pretty warm here on Monday, too, with sun and clouds. Highs Monday in the upper 40s. Actually, most of next week looks above normal in the temperature department and pretty dry as well. Again, 43 with sun and clouds in Quincy right now. In the news today, Jennifer Manning has once again been elected the Clerk of Committees for the Quincy City Council. During this past Tuesday's first full City Council meeting of the new year, councilors unanimously elected Manning to that position for the 6th year in a row. Ward 1 City Councilor Dave McCarthy nominated Manning for that post. He said councilors could not do their job without Manning's support.
Proactive, professional, detailed, watches all our backs. When we go to Jen Manning, who's been in the position now almost 6 years, she knows everything in and out like she's been around for a very, very long time. I got a few stats on her today, and it's funny, tomorrow it looks like, unless I'm wrong, Jen, January 22nd is your 10-year anniversary on being hired at the Municipal Finance Department. So congratulations on 10 glorious city years. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilor.
Also this week, City Council President Nina Liang announced committee appointments, naming Ward 1 Councilor Dave McCarthy the chair of the Finance Committee. At-large Councilor Ann Mahoney will lead the Ordinance Committee, and at-large Councilor Noel DeBona will chair the Oversight Committee. There'll also be 14 other subcommittees with 5 members apiece. Quincy City Council this week did get an update on improvements that are being made to the city's electronic mapping system. The GIS, or the Geographic Information System, is used for everything from finding streets to locating underground utilities and even trees. The administrator, Fred Kapanos, said that every effort is being made to keep that system up to date.
The Board of Health, I've also been working with them on doing some rodent control applications, taking their sort of historical data and geocoding it and trying to figure out where some of the problem areas are for rodents. And I've printed out various paper maps. I don't have anything right now online, but I printed out paper maps for their staff to show to the mayor and just to sort of kind of visually see, where are the issues? Because, looking at things on paper is one thing, but having an actual visual is extremely helpful. So like a heat map, for instance.
Ward 5 Councilor Chuck Phelan told Kapanos that every effort should be made to ensure that all of that electronic mapping information is also available to the public on the city's website. 2 people have been charged with conspiring to steal a purse from a woman's Quincy apartment recently. Police say 30-year-old Courtney Dusevich and 19-year-old Sean Daly both worked together to steal the purse from a C Street apartment. Dusevich allegedly left the apartment door unlocked when she went to visit her friend. That allowed Daly to walk right in, grab the purse, and take off on foot. Police found Daly hiding in the attic of a nearby home. They also recovered the purse and $350 in cash. Both suspects face charges of larceny and conspiracy. Daly was also charged with cocaine possession. There is a new chief financial officer at Mannett Community Health Center of Quincy. Mary Benvenuto was recently named to the position. She'll serve as CFO for Mannett's 5 locations in Quincy, Taunton, and Hull. Benvenuto most recently served as chief financial officer for Last Mile Health. It's an international health access organization. She was also Executive Vice President and CFO for United Way of Rhode Island. Benvenuto is a graduate of Nichols College and Bryant University. Mannett Community Health Center celebrated its 40th anniversary last year. Well over 100 people attended this year's annual Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast this past Monday in the cafeteria at Quincy High School. The guest speaker was former Quincy City Councilor Joe Finn, who said more work is still needed to fulfill Dr. King's dream of equality for all.
The principles of the Fair Housing Act were actually passed in 1968 as a reaction to the assassination of Dr. King. And yet, the promise of those principles have yet to be fulfilled in an affirmative manner. And in fact, in 2017, House Republicans were trying to pull back on the rules that the Obama administration had passed to enforce the principles of the Fair Housing Act. Now, for any of you who thinks that this phenomenon is purely accidental or a part of some de facto segregation, I would encourage you to read The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein, which outlines the de jure systemic and legal constructs in place that have reinforced the economic inequality of African Americans even to the present day. And I wish to stress, this is not about victimization, this is about simple justice.
Finn's currently the director of the Massachusetts Housing and Shelter Alliance in Boston, and previously was director of Father Bill's Homeless Shelter here in Quincy. The guests were also treated to a full breakfast prepared by students in the Quincy High School Culinary Arts program, and entertainment was provided by musicians from the Germantown Neighborhood Center. Now that you are up to date with weather and news, let's check out our programming lineup for you for later on today here on Quincy Access Television. Starts with a replay of this program currently in Quincy at 5 o'clock. 5:30 Q&Q Sports Desk, a brand new program. Sound advice at 6 o'clock with attorney Tom Williams.
Hello, folks. I am attorney Tom Williams, and welcome to Sound Advice.
6:30 currently in Quincy, the interviews. Tonight, Tom Clasby from the Kennedy Center. You can see that full Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast ceremony at 7 o'clock on Channel 8.
Even to the present day.
Then at 8 o'clock, North Quincy versus Dennis Yarmouth girls basketball from January 3rd.
No eye contact made.
Then the Quincy High Duxbury girls basketball game from January 21st at 9:30. 10:30 into the frying pan. Barbara Isola is cooking up some risotto tonight. And at 11 o'clock on Channel 8, Democracy Now! Check out Channel 9 every day. Learn about Quincy City Departments, different committee activities. Starts at 5:30 with Quincy in Focus. 6 o'clock, it is Good Deeds from the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds. Tonight it's a year in review. A new FYI tonight at 6:30 from the Quincy Health Department. The topic, heart attack. This week's Quincy Board of License Commissioners meeting, 7 o'clock on Channel 9. 7:15, the Quincy Recreation Department's Elks Free Throw Contest. A new AM Quincy tonight at 7:30. We chat with Ward 5 City Councilor Chuck Phelan. And at the library concert at 8 o'clock tonight, we feature the Beantown Buckaroos. And find out what's happening at your library for the rest of January, 9 o'clock on Channel 9.
Welcome to At Your Library.
Get a complete program schedule on our website. Just go to qatv.org, and when you get there, click on Program Schedule. And as always, we'd like you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And check out our weekly ad, too, in the Quincy Sun. We will take a look at a few of the current events and activities that are featured on our electronic bulletin board on Channel 8 for your information coming up in just 1 minute. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back with you. Back here is a check of some of the current events and activities that we're showing right now in our electronic bulletin board on Channel 8 for you to know about. It's tomorrow. Yep, it's the annual Howe's Neck Chili Cook-Off, 1 to 4 tomorrow at the Howe's Neck Congregational Church. There is a small admission fee. You should give Pam Craig a call. She's at 617-471-8968, or you can send her an email at the address on your screen there for more information. Quincy Climate Action Network holding a public meeting on January 29th at 6 p.m. at the Southwest Middle School. This will be to talk about the MBTA's plans to open a bus maintenance facility at the former Lowe's Home Improvement Store on the Bergen Parkway. Everyone is welcome to attend. It's the 32nd annual Lunar New Year celebration coming up February the 2nd. It'll be 11 to 4 up at North Quincy High School. Celebration of the Year of the Rat will include live entertainment, food, prizes, and lots of family fun. It's free admission and free parking. You can visit quincyasianresources.org for all the details. And a reminder, the Quincy Farmers Market's open during the winter, every Friday from 11:30 to 3 at the South Shore YMCA over on Coddington Streets. The market will run right through February 14th this year. And if you have an event or an activity you would like to promote, visit our website, qatv.org. Just download a bulletin board request form, fill it out, send it in, get that message up here on Channel 8 too. Coming up, we chat with Marie McCabe of the Good Neighbor Energy Fund. That's next. Welcome back. Might not be thinking about your home heating bill right now with temperatures in the 40s and 50s for the foreseeable future, but we all know we're not out of the woods just yet. There's a lot of winter still to go, and the Good Neighbor Energy Fund is here once again to help folks pay their home heating bills. Marie McCabe is here once again, too, to tell us all about it. Hey, Marie, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you so much. It's, actually 35 years now, right, for the Good Neighbor Energy Fund?
It has been, yep,
Yeah.
since 1985.
Wow.
We've been helping households in Massachusetts.
Yeah, you had a big celebration in Randolph just last year, actually.
We did, yeah. Nice kickoff breakfast.
Right.
Yeah.
So for folks who don't know, maybe give us just a little overview of what the fund actually is, what it does.
Okay, sure. So the fund is a consortium of energy companies like National Grid, Unitil, Columbia Gas, Eversource, and other local utilities like Braintree Electric. And they combine to help those who are struggling to pay some utility bills or heating bills. And it's worked out so that we've helped a fair amount of people in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, almost 1,400 households just last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alone for folks, and that's a huge help at that time of the year.
It is.
Too,
I mean, I know it's, like you said, you might not realize it now.
Yeah.
The temperatures are nice. We did have a 70-degree weekend not long ago.
That's right.
And
but we also had a 7-degree weekend. So,
right.
Yeah.
So the cold can come up fairly, quickly.
Yeah.
And if you have a sudden expense or you lost your job, this payment will kind of help you get through the gap.
Yeah, since its inception, just a couple of statistics. I know people get kind of glassy-eyed real quick when you talk numbers and stuff, but since it started, over 90,000 households have been assisted with help from more than $22 million. And the money it's put by the energy companies, but also by donations, right?
Also by donations,
Yeah.
which is nice. So I can show my green envelope now. If you get this in your utility or gas or bill or oil bill, this is a donation envelope that gets mailed to the Salvation Army, And if you have a few dollars to spare, this is one way that the fund is able to help people besides the energy companies also donating. So if somebody could if you have a couple of dollars to spare, then you could donate to the Good Neighbor Energy Fund and help somebody out over the winter.
Yep, absolutely. That's a good point, too, is the Salvation Army is the administrators of the fund,
They
right?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they administer it for us, and they also take applicants in their barracks at their core offices. So you can visit them as well.
Sure. Here in Quincy, they're over on Baxter Street. They can stop by there as well or give them a call.
Correct.
472-2345. And they're the ones that see not only Quincy, but the general region,
The
right?
area around here, yeah.
Sure. How did you yourself, Marie, get involved with this? Is this something you seem to be quite passionate about?
So I started working for utility just
Yeah.
a little further south of Boston, and I never heard of it myself, and I know I grew up in a single parent household, and
Okay.
I'm sure my mom could have used it at the time, and I find that not a lot of people realize this is there, and it's a nice way to help meet ends meet in those winter months where the gas or oil bills or electric bills, if you heat by electricity, are very high in some cases. So it's a great way to get the word out and help people that are struggling temporarily and they don't necessarily qualify for local or state aid. So it's a good way to help your neighbor and also make sure people have the gift of warmth during the winter.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
really is a gift, too.
It
for
is.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
How does it all work? How does someone find out if they're eligible and then go through the process?
Okay, so one way to do that is to obviously contact the Salvation Army. They could help you determine your eligibility. Another way is if you have access to the internet, you could check on the Mass Good Neighbor Energy website, which is www.magoodneighbor.org. And on that website, it'll give you the eligibility amount. So if you have a family of 4, it'll indicate what amount you'll need to fall into to be eligible for the grant. And also, sometimes you contact your utility company or your heating company, and they could also direct you as to where to go to apply for the grant. It's a one-page application, pretty easy to fill out. And it's worth it, really, if you're struggling or have a sudden medical expense or a household expense that's come up, and you could use the extra $250, and the Salvation Army will cut the check from their Canton office, and it goes directly to the utility.
Okay.
So if anyone has any questions about that, then it does get mailed directly to the utility rather than the customer, so then you guarantee that the utility
That's right.
receives the funds
Yes.
to help offset the expense for the
Yeah.
heat.
And that's a comfort, too, for people who donate to know that the money is going to where it's intended, right?
It is definitely a comfort. I know a lot of people find that they're skeptical to donate
Yeah.
because they're not sure where the money's going.
Right.
And I think the fact that the checks come directly to National Grid
Yep.
or Eversource or Braintree Electric or wherever,
Yep.
that it's a comfort to some people knowing that the funds are actually being designated to what they're being told they're being designated for.
That's right,
So,
yeah. And
yeah.
for the people who is receiving the assistance, they know that that's taken care of for
Right.
them as well. They don't
Yep,
have to
one
worry
less
about
thing
that.
to worry about.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned $250, so that's the benefit this year.
That's the benefit
Okay.
level this year. It changes, can change year to year.
Yep.
Right now, that's what it is this year, and it's all dependent on funds we receive. So
Right.
right now, that's what we're doing.
Yep, that's what it was last year, too. So
Yep.
hopefully the fund's
Yep.
staying pretty healthy.
So far, so good.
Overall, yeah.
Right.
Well, one cold snap could change that, certainly.
Right.
you
Yeah, we
know.
don't want another winter like 2015.
No,
if
we
possible.
don't. No,
Yeah.
not in our lifetime at
No.
least. You mentioned too that it's good for all types of heating, right? It's not just.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's energy basically, not
Right.
just
So
heat,
some
yeah.
people have heat by electricity or oil, gas,
Yeah.
pellet. So it's for all of those, and that's the nice thing about it. So you could just apply, and it'll be designated to whatever your heat source is
Yep.
or utility bill.
Yeah,
you know?
and the income guidelines are pretty generous. I went on with you just a few minutes ago to
Yeah.
check, and for a family of 4, it's a gross income of between $71,000 and $95,000 a year.
Right.
So that's pretty generous.
Yeah, I
It's-
think it is as
yeah.
well. It's for those people that don't necessarily, aren't eligible for, like I said, local aid or self-help, or so it does help people that kind of fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
so.
have a one-time event like a health crisis or a job loss or
Yeah.
I don't know,
appliance breaking or
Yeah,
something.
the car repair bill or something.
Exactly.
You know,
Any of
whatever.
those instances have happened, to me, I know.
Right.
And if you're struggling, if you have, if you're a single parent or over 65 or whatever the case may be, if you just need that little $250 grant
Mm-hmm.
payment to kind of get you through that, rough patch,
Yeah.
then it helps.
And depending on your household, $250 could take care of a whole month or even a little more for your
Absolutely.
energy bill, and just to get you through the hump of the winter,
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
Do you need to notify your energy company that you've done that? Try and make sure.
Yeah, it would be
that
good
they
to
know.
notify them
Okay.
just so they know that a payment is probably
I
coming.
didn't forget you, right?
Right, we
Yeah.
didn't forget you, and it's good to notify them because they may not realize you're applying to the Good Neighbor Energy Fund.
Right.
And just to give them a heads up that
Yes.
a payment is probably coming, and they could always confirm with the Salvation Army that you've been approved.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's a question, yeah.
If there's a question,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, I know they can't shut off the utilities, but you don't want to get into arrears either.
That's you can shut off in the winter.
Oh, you can.
Unless you're protected. So you have to be winter protected, and you have to fill out a hardship form and a winter protection form
Oh.
and notify the utility of that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you can shut off in the winter
Okay.
unless you're considered low income or winter protected. You can shut off or have an infant or elderly, but the utility or heating company needs to know those
Okay.
that you have those protections.
Okay.
So don't take it for granted that they know that. So
Okay.
let them know that you're struggling and you may need some help and that you're looking for assistance.
Okay.
And they most likely will work with you.
Okay, communication is key then. Don't,
Absolutely.
Don't just assume you might find
Right.
yourself
Yeah.
literally in the cold and the dark.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a deadline at all to apply for the Good Neighbor Energy Fund?
I always recommend applying as soon as you can
Okay.
because we can't guarantee the funds will be there through April or
Yeah.
whatever because it all depends on the need.
Okay.
And every year's different.
Sure.
So if you think you're going to have some problems or you're getting a termination notice or you anticipate some being out of work, definitely talk to your local Salvation Army Corps barrack and see if you can get an application in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And do you need to apply every year if you've received assistance in the past?
So you can apply every year
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, as long as you're eligible.
Okay.
Yep, you can apply.
Okay. If you are turned down, but then your circumstances change, can you apply again that
Yeah,
same
if
year?
you're turned down for some reason and then your income changes or there's some change to your household, try it again.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very good. It's
Yeah.
good to know. And is there no cost to apply, right?
There's no cost to apply, and like I said, it's really a one-page application.
Yep.
And you just typically have to provide a copy of your license, just proof of your income, which could be a W-2 or a recent pay stub.
Okay.
And as long as you fall into that eligibility of the income,
Mm-hmm.
then you should be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And about how long does it take for the payment to get to the utility company?
It's pretty quick. I
Oh, is it?
mean,
Okay.
it's roughly, I would say, within 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, within
Okay.
2 weeks. Probably less than that. And like I said, you could notify your utility company and let them know that you've applied to this
Right.
and that a payment is forthcoming.
Yep.
And they can confirm that with the Salvation Army as well,
Okay.
our administrator.
Okay, and does the recipient get notified as well that, hey, this payment has been made, you're all set for right now?
I don't know if they probably know right then and there that they're eligible.
Yeah.
So it does take a little bit of time to process it and cut the check, but so they should know that they've been approved right at the Salvation Army.
Okay.
I know I take applications at my electric department out in North Attleboro, but I send them off to the Salvation Army, and as long as everything looks good, I can tell them, it looks pretty good, and I'll know for sure in about a couple of days.
Okay,
So yeah,
alright.
so it's not that long a turnaround time.
Yeah, and you can always call your utility to ask, did you get
Oh,
the
absolutely.
payments? And
Yep.
you'll see it on your statement the next month anyway.
You will. Yeah, exactly.
So if it does get approved and sent through, it's there's no downside.
There's no downside.
this, yeah.
Absolutely not. No, and it's nice that we're doing this today so we can get more exposure so that people realize that this help is here for them.
Yes, as I mentioned, winter's not over yet.
No, not by a long shot.
we all remember, and it goes year round too. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get these green envelopes
Yeah.
all year
Throw
round.
it up again.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
so
should see that in your bill. It'd be nice to throw a few dollars in there and send it to the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there ways to donate online too through that website? Yes.
There is, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So you can donate online
Okay.
to the Mass Good Neighbor Energy Fund. There's a donation page on there, so
Yep.
you can donate online there. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Yeah.
Anything else, Marie?
I think that's it. I think
Okay.
you've covered everything. It's just, we hope that you're able to spare a few dollars if you can, and if you need help, absolutely reach out to the Salvation Army, who administers the fund for us. And we hope we hope you have kind of a mild winter,
Yes.
so that we don't have to worry so much
Yes,
this year. Yeah.
knocking on all kinds of,
Right,
of
no
wood,
wood,
here.
but yeah, knock on glass.
Yeah. So thanks so much for coming by.
All right,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. Thanks.
You're welcome. Stay warm this winter.
I will, hopefully.
Just enough time to recap the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. If it could only stay like this all winter, we'd be all set. Lots of sunshine, a few clouds, highs in the mid-40s this afternoon, upper 30s this evening. The weekend, so part of it will be wet. The rain will move in tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow night, but look at the mild temperatures, mid-40s tomorrow. Nice on Sunday, near 50, and still pretty nice Monday as well. Thanks again going out to Marie McCabe for joining us from the Good Neighbor Energy Fund.
Thank you.
Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Monday at 11:30, Philip Chong is here from Quincy Asian Resources on another edition of Currently in Quincy. We'll see you then.